Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review of The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. So The Cruel Prince is about a human girl named Jude, and her parents are murdered by fairies when she's little, and her sisters are whisked away to fairyland and raised by the fae that killed her parents. So that's the general kind of background. The plot itself is about, basically it's a court intrigue that has to do with the throne and kind of Jude's role within that and her own personal process of trying to secure herself a place where she feels safe. So Jude herself is a very determined character. She's determined to prove herself. She really wants to be a knight. That's her main goal. And so she's trained in swordplay and all of these different things in order to meet that goal. Because as a human in the fairyland, she's very picked on and kind of at a major disadvantage. So she feels like being a knight will kind of secure her place and secure her safety within the world, as well as protect her sisters and everything else involved in that. So the other main character of the book is Cardan. He's the prince that the title refers to, the Cruel Prince. Cardan is the youngest son of the king of Elfhame, and he is very much a spoiled brat. He's kind of your classic bully archetype. He picks on people, he loves to drink and party, and he really doesn't seem to care about anybody but himself. But I do see the beginnings of a really solid redemption arc for him in the makings, and it's kind of a pretty interesting one to me, so that's promising there. So as far as the world itself goes, Holly Black is just the absolute queen of all things fairy. It's such a classic fae world. You know, you've got your Unseelie and Seelie courts, all united, in this case, under the High Court of the High King. You have everything represented from goblins and hobs, nixies, pixies. There's even satyr-like characters. She's basically wrapped it all up. There's mermaids in it. I mean, it's very classic fairy. And the magic system is, again, the same very, very classic fae. The fae can glamour, make themselves look different. It's very enforced within the book that humans aren't supposed to eat or drink the food because they could be bespelled by it. The fae have this ability that Holly Black calls ensorceral, where they can basically, the old look into my eyes and jump off the cliff. And then the humans can't help themselves and they just jump off the cliff smiling. So there's a lot of danger in the world for Jude as a human, being completely unprotected from all of this magic. As well as all of the kind of classic fae magic type of stuff, there's also kind of a classic, I really like that Holly Black also uses all the really old wives' tale type of things surrounding the fae. So like turning your stockings inside out, keeps them from being able to lead you astray in the woods. Putting salt on your food means they can't bespell you in that way. Carrying rowan berries keeps them from being able to mess with your mind. And it's just all those really cool legends and stuff like that she pulls from that just make it really, really interesting to me. I love that type of stuff. So that was all really neat to see done. The other really neat thing about the book to me was how she pulled in from her other series, which I think is a cool thing that she can do because all of her stuff is so classic fairy that she can meld all her books and all her series together because they're all kind of in the same world. So you get to actually see King Reuben and Kay from her Tithe book in this book, which is neat. It's a neat reference. If you haven't read those books, those are really good too. Another really cool thing that I thought was interesting in this book was she played with the concept of, it's called, I might pronounce this wrong, but it's called Mithridatism. And basically what it is the act of slowly taking in little bits of poison every single day, just dosing yourself with micro doses of poison in order to build immunity. And that to me reminded me so much of the Three Dark Crowns series by Kendare Blake. And I love that series. And just to see that concept used here and the way that she used it, I really liked it. It was cool. It was a nice addition. It kind of added some darkness and just overall the way that Holly Black is able to portray fairies, that kind of dark side of them, but really wrapped up in like revelry and drinking and merriment, but will still kill you in the shadows. Like, I don't know, there's just this way that she has of describing them and describing the world that they live in that to me is so like perfectly Fae. And it's really a huge talent of hers because she still makes the characters relatable and somebody that at least a little bit you can kind of understand, but they still feel alien. You know, they still feel different enough from how a human would think and how a human would act that it really feels like you're reading about a magical creature instead of just a human with pointy ears and powers, if that makes any sense. So, the only con that I could think of at all when reading this book was maybe just that for the first little bit of this book, it kind of does feel high school drama-y a little bit. Jude is pretty young. I don't remember exactly how old she's supposed to be, and I don't even know if it says. I might be wrong about that. I probably just didn't pay attention. But she is still in school at the beginning, and Prince Cardan is in school with her, and they're in class together, and there's a little bit of this like back and forth and bullying that goes on between him and his group of friends that just feels a little high school drama at first. But then as more of like the kind of more court intrigue plot line comes in and they kind of both graduate to being bigger than that and get involved with other players in the world and other political powers and stuff like that. It expands and like so much more than that, and it becomes really, really good. I think just at first it does feel a little bit high school drama conflicty. Like it doesn't have a very like expansive feel in the beginning. So that would be my con for the book. As far as the ending, without giving any spoilers away, there was definitely a small plot twist that was interesting / a little bit infuriating for me. But I really like enjoyed it overall. Like I thought it was an interesting way to end it. It definitely left you on a cliffhanger. I definitely read this book in a day, and I definitely started reading the second book as soon as I could after. So that review will be probably forthcoming soon because I am absolutely tearing through this series. So book 2 is called The Wicked King. It is already out, as well as the third book, which is called, I believe, The Queen of Nothing. So my rating overall, I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars. And that's just for, again, the beginning being a little bit slow for me. And then also just, I am not super in love with Cardan yet, but I know that I can see that that's a setup, that there's a redemption arc coming for him. And I'm hoping that I will fall in love with him. But as the other like main character of the book, and even like what the book is focused around, I am not quite there yet with him. So that's why I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe below. Let me know your thoughts on the book. If you've read any of the other ones, are they worth reading? I'm already into the second one, so it's a little bit too late for that, but let me know your thoughts anyway. I'm always interested to hear what you guys think of the books that I've reviewed, and I'll be back next week. Bye!